Let me know if you do. Oh, getting live on the podcast broadcast. Upsahl, true rock star status, is running about 15 minutes behind. But Taylor will be in studio with her sister Ryan. Very excited to catch up with her. Rico's hanging out, of course, on this podcast broadcast. And good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for joining the stream here, quick and easy and early. We have a lot of fun stuff to get to. As Rico and I had a late night last night. Like full-blown adults here, party adults. And we were at Club Congress till almost 11. And it was a packed show. The ladies killed it. Rael set the tone. Saw her entire set. Chloe Tang. Yeah, Chloe Tang. Sorry. I don't mean to. It's, racist.
All right, Dad.
Okay, yeah. Well, Chloe was, she was a hot thing, and she did a good job. And then, of course, Taylor just tore it up. So it was fun. It was good to see some streamers out there, some listeners out there. Ollie is always fun. He ended up being part of the crew. Bella came out and brought her crew with her. And yeah, it was good times. And I'm excited to talk with Taylor and Ryan, her sister Ryan, because the streamers, you guys know. I couldn't be prouder. It's like Uncle Beef status, been playing her on the radio since she was 13. We talked with her on the stream before. You've seen her, you know her. This is the first time that I'm going to have her in studio since my home studio back in Phoenix. And Rico right now is whipping together some video footage that he took last night of some of the show. And it was good. She got it together, a professional show. And she's just a pro. So I'm excited to have her on and talk about a lot of stuff within the industry. A lot of stuff with UMG, TikTok, and, I want to really peek behind the curtain of how things are going. She's signed to Arista Records. That's a major label. And so she is part of that, the music industry. And by all definitions has made it, but still on the cusp of being mainstream. So in that kind of area, just like right on the verge and constantly grinding to make things happen. So it's going to be a good conversation with Taylor Upsahl. Now, real quick, Nick, I know that you're asking Rico this question, but I do want to jump in. I saw that you asked us at 8:20. It's going to be a hard no. Okay. And
we
Rico,
conferred on this.
Yes, absolutely. And I know we weren't live on the stream yet. You should never, ever, and any woman watching the stream, you could back this up. Never, ever approach a girl to talk to her with any kind of dating intentions at the gym. Because
it's a safe space.
Yeah, it is a safe space. Guys have ruined it for others, right? No matter how pure your intentions, how nice you may be, they're not there for that. And if they are there for that, let them approach you. But do not be that guy, that creep that crosses the line and goes up, even if it's something like, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. None of that shit. When you're at the gym, unfortunately, the unwritten rule is men keep to themselves. Do not get caught staring or looking at women, and do not approach to try to spit game at the gym.
Even if it looks like they're dressed that they want to be hit on, don't do it. It's a trap. It's a nature's trap.
It's a trap, dude.
Yeah, because me and Nick go to the same gym, so I'm sure we see a lot of the smoking hot ladies there.
Yeah,
but the temptation is strong, but yeah, you just got to play cool. Keep your headphones on. If they initiate, that's one thing, but you can't be the one to walk like, hey, what's your name? And you see that never happens. You're there long enough, you notice the trends, you notice behaviorisms. It's just it's not a good thing. Unless it's like I said, it's a very rare chance that she'll be so interested that she kind of initiates contact, like, hey, what's going on? You're like, hey, let's chat. And then you keep it casual.
Right.
I see a lot of guys talking to girls, but a lot of times they either come in together or they're friends from somewhere else. You can definitely tell there's not that tension there.
Exactly.
There's a science to it.
Yes. And if your argument is, but I see guys talking to girls all the time. Well, you don't know. It's Tucson. They could have literally grew up with that girl. Or their friends or their mutual friends. There's lots of different scenarios. But as a person who doesn't know, if you don't know the girl's first, middle, and last name, and I'm not encouraging you to stalk her.
That's not a bad question. Don't be ashamed.
Yeah,
it's a very good question because, that seems like a very, people are like, yeah, meet girls at the library, the cafe. Yeah, talk to them at the gym. It's like, nah, there's differences.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah,
it's all situational.
You're going to be less than a creep if you approach a woman at a grocery store than at a gym.
Oh, you like macaroni too?
Yeah.
Me too. Well, can afford.
Yeah, I see you're not getting top shelf either. So if we pull together our lack of incomes, then we'll increase a tax bracket. So that's a benefit to this boner. Huh? So let me know if you agree or disagree here. Manny said grocery store was my favorite. 10, good to see you here. And yeah. And codependency is weird. Yeah, you could say it's weird, but it's the only dependency I know. I went into wingman mode last night for my good buddy Rico. There's a very beautiful girl who had zero game, very awkward game, which was amazing.
Alcohol on a Wednesday night.
Yes, it's good to see, like women be awkward in their approach in their game as well. Usually it's something that's dominated by men. We're usually the weird ones. But she came up and as an icebreaker was speaking in an accent, a British accent. And we didn't understand what the fuck she was saying. We're like, oh, what the? And, like I was with my buddy Mike, who's married, and that's Upsahl's dad. So, he wants no interest of this, right? He's not trying to pick up on any girls. His wife was there too, but even if she wasn't there. And I'm talking to him. But then I saw the perfect opportunity for my boy Rico here because this girl's smoking hot. She's a beautiful woman.
It's listener Bella's cousin.
Yes, and Bella, your cousin, is beautiful.
She's gorgeous
for sure, but awkward in her game.
I think it was a follow-up because when we first got introduced when we were all sitting down and she came up with Bella and all them. I think she said something in English and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny and cheeky. But then it got doubled down on when we saw her kid. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she's like, oh, hold on to this. Yeah, this routine. Hello. Yes. So she started going into this accent and would not drop the accent. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I was like, it's funny that you're doing that. Because my good friend Rico here,
he's from England,
won't stop doing the accent. It drives me nuts, but he loves doing the accent too. And honestly, and that's a lie, Rico's not doing British accents all the time, and it doesn't annoy me when he does. When I try to get him to do accents for radio, he actually gets all posh about it and he's just like, I'm not a hack. But in this situation, he was like, ahoy or whatever.
Ahoy. Hello, Gov.
Hello, yeah. Hello, Gov. Good went right into it, and then they start talking in their weird British accents,
and I'm like, all right, that's enough of that.
It was a full-blown love connection. And I was like, yeah, my job here is done. All right,
go be weird together. Go move to foggy London.
Go have a bunch of weird babies.
Go sweep some chimneys.
Weird, beautiful, in shape babies. So.
Where'd you meet Mom? Oh, at the bar, speaking British accents.
Okay. Honestly, that's the plot of The Notebook. I haven't seen The Notebook, but I believe that's the whole premise. Yeah, and Twilight. They combined it. Let's get on for a tease. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. It's the podcast broadcast. We are live. We're going to be joined by our very special guest, Taylor Upsahl. She goes by Upsahl. All over the world, and she just sold out the Club Congress last night. So she's going to be in studio for the podcast broadcast. But coming up next, there's an iPhone update that's bringing back all your nudes. Did I get your attention?
Yeah.
I'll tell you more about that and what I found when I went through my phone for about 15 minutes. It was hot. Right after Godsmack, who is performing at Ava Amphitheater in October. We'll be giving away tickets for them next week. This song is called Truth on Rock 102.1 KFMA.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was like good choices, Apple.
Yeah.
It's my top 10.
Yeah, thanks for
all the panoramics. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you sent me an email, right? Of
it's uploading right now to Drive. It's through the cloud, so it's probably about 15 more minutes or so.
Fair enough.
You can just download if it's not uploaded all the way, but there's some good footage. The last bits there.
Okay.
So
let's see. Yeah, I'll pull it up, and that way I don't even think we'll get flagged if it's live, but we'll see. That's a potential.
Which is funny because we have the person giving permission right here.
I know.
Go ahead. I know. Let me call my people to call their people.
All right. So here's a little bit of it, and of course, with Rico's there, he has his phone, he's filming, and here's
Scorsese, baby.
A little bit of the performance of last night. Of Upsahl doing her thing at Club Congress and this nice, beautiful packed crowd, which I was so happy to see. Check this.
We're gonna do call response. I'll make it easy. I'm gonna go. and the sun was so hot.
Oh, actually, I want to air this for her because, me with my unsolicited advice, I'm going to be like, you got to keep
Tucson.
Call and response is super easy.
I was shocked how much people did actually kind of keep track. Because in my head, I was like, I'm not like one beer deep and I can't even remember what she said.
Yeah, this is how this works, right? So there's, just like radio listeners, there's different levels of fandoms, like P1, P2, so on and so forth, right? So the ones who memorized every word, the call and response, those are like the P1s, right? The hardcore super fans that were there.
Right.
Now, in every kind of show, even a show like this, which is an intimate show, you're going to have a percentage of people who are true blue fans, right? Then there's another percentage of people who like a couple songs and we're definitely like, yeah, that sounds like a fun thing to do. Uh-huh. And then there's people who are just like, oh, I heard there was a show. My friend, told me about it and I'm out here just to check it out, right? So that's kind of the thing. And you want to win over those other crowds, but you still have those P1s right there to help you do these kind of things. So she goes into this call and response where she's like, I'm going to say this simple little sentence, and then you're going to respond back with a paragraph. And then I'm going to say another. That's how I interpreted it as an old man who's like, my memory is not that good.
Yeah, 2 call and response is max.
So we take our call.
Yeah. Like when I say, hey, you say, ho, hey, ho. Like, I'm old school hip hop call response.
New people tell me their name. I forget within 2 seconds.
Right?
Like, what the hell, brain?
That's the thing, right?
Goes off, and then me, and the water's so cold, but the party don't stop. Can we try that?
That part's
and the summer's so hot. So we take our clothes off.
All right, so I'm going to scrub that ahead, because good old Tay.
Outside, either coming in the house. If we take another sip, everybody making out.
What?
The jazz dropping that to the first body, but she didn't even notice because the tongue was in my mouth. Think I make it better with my skins on yours, in my bra and my panties with your bosses on the floor. We can dive in, you and me, a friend, maybe can you hold your breath just a little bit more? All the days.
All right, that's what I'm going to play for this second here, but we're going to get back on the air. But see, that was just a little example of it, and and then she even does Spitfire, and it's like, how are we going to do call and response on this?
I know.
And it was a song she hasn't even released before.
I felt disappointed in myself.
It's her next new single. All right, let's get on the air. Rock 102.1 KFMA is Beefy and Presents, and I got good news for pervs out there, especially if you're a perv with an iPhone. Looks like this latest iOS update, there's people claiming that this new update has resurrected their old deleted nudes. Now, here's how it usually works with an iPhone, and I don't know if it's the same with Android, Rico, so you let me know. What you do is if you delete a picture, then it goes in your trash about 30 days, and then it's gone forever, right? Now, allegedly, yeah, unless you save it into a super hidden, folder that's called that you name taxes or something. But this is what a lot of people have done, and this happens all the time with all different types of pictures. And of course, with nudes, sometimes you take pictures, like sexy pictures, when you're dating somebody, and then you take a bunch before you get the one that's really good to send off,
right?
And you delete the ones that you don't like, right?
Or keep the ones with the good lighting.
Yeah. Right. And then you delete the ones that don't make you look as big and all that good stuff. Right?
All that good stuff.
Yeah. And then they go in the trash and they disappear forever. Well, people, after they had their latest update, has realized that not only have some of those pictures returned, but some of them are returning in the most awkward situation, like at the top of their gallery. So they'll open up their phone thinking oh, I want to show you this landscape picture I took yesterday.
Oh.
And then, oh, no, that's my dong.
That's a different mountain.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's my dong. Sounds like a fantastic game show title.
Or it sounds like the new episode of Black Mirror coming out.
Yeah. So this is a legit problem. It's unclear how widespread it is, but enough people are joining forums about it, and not even just on OnlyFans. And it's being picked up by tech blogs. So it's one of those situations where iPhone basically was like, hey, we're going to update you, but there's a glitch in this update that is going to bring back all your digital trash, which should be a reminder to everybody that nothing that goes to the cloud or is digital is ever gone forever. It's
terrifying.
Yeah, it's always around forever. All of those pictures, that stuff with your ex, all of it, still around forever. You may not be able to see it, but some lonely tech perv out there can. Good to know.
Their ones and zeros they're going to find.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Now, at the end of the show, I usually give a beef tip, right? So I'll double you up on a beef tip this morning. And when taking nudes, always exclude your face. Okay, that's the more you know. That's what you want to do. You don't want to kind of really tie your face to the scene of the crime, no matter what the scenario.
True.
Yeah.
I gotta stop taking photos of my junk with my full name written out on a piece of paper on it.
Yeah. You gotta stop putting a mirror underneath it so you take a picture of the junk, but then you can see your whole face profile.
Yeah.
The crazy eyes.
I gotta stop that.
Yeah.
Good beef tip.
Now, it's a little vague about when the media is officially and permanently scrapped from clouds and servers, which means I don't think it ever is. The implication is that it is happening and that no one is retaining your data in the ether without your permission, but that is a lie. I do not believe that even for a second. It does turn out if your data is coming back from the dead, it could become a major problem for Apple because basically it's them getting caught not deleting the data in the first place. So take it with a grain of salt. And again, when you take nudes, make sure your face is not included. Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
101, basics 101, baby.
If you need more tips on taking nudes or even need critique, at Beef Vegan. Let's hit the reset. We'll keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. Upsahl's joining us in studio next on Beef Vegan Presents, so don't go away. All right, clear.
Are we going to make a YouTube tutorial?
Yes.
Hey, guys, Beef Vegan here. How to take a nude the right way.
It's like, first off, I know what you're thinking. You don't want to see me naked, and that's fine.
That's fine.
There's a small percentage of people that I've met over my years that do. And I have sent pictures to them. Solicited, of course.
Many, many times. Therefore, I am a professional. Hear me out.
Yes. And so, and rule number 1, always keep the face out of it. If you're even doing a sexy time video, try to keep your face out of it.
I don't think anybody would want a face in there unless you're a complete model type. You're like an Adonis god. Otherwise, it's just like an awkward face with your peen in it. That's just weird. What face do you make? What face would you make?
Well, I had a bit about this because I did have my face in there for a while. And this was the bit that I did it with Adam Carolla, my first attempt at stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
But this was based off a true story as I was trying to do the Godzilla effect and do like a picture from down here. Yeah.
Yep.
Try to make it look as massive as possible. And then my face was in the picture. So I'm like, okay, well, now I got to smile or do something. So I look good with my face. And then, of course, my oversized looking dong, which was all an optical illusion. So I tried to be sexy. Right. And so, first I was like, I give like a grimace, like a Zoolander look. And then I was just like, and that looks like I'm too angry to be in a picture with my dick. So I was like, okay, I have to do another one. So then I did another one, and then I cheesed for it, right? Like I smiled, and I'm like, yeah. And I took a picture.
Oh God,
yeah.
No.
I took another picture. I looked at it, and I was like, no, this is like a Christmas card of me and my cock, or like Merry Christmas.
Little Santa hat on it.
Yeah, from the vegans, right? Like I was too happy to be in a picture with my dick. And
it's my boy.
Yeah. So then I took another one, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go sexy face. And so I'm like, like this, and then I look at it. Get in here, Taylor. And I'm like,
you're in pain.
No, it looks like I was attempting to kiss my schlong, which was not good.
That's not good.
Yeah. So I had to delete that.
Oh,
so
welcome.
Finally, yes. I know this is how we're gonna enjoy. Did Ryan chicken out, by the way?
She chickened out. That's why I'm late.
Oh,
I was trying to get out of bed, and she was like, "Tell Beef, I don't know how he wakes up this early."
Well, I'm not, obviously living that rock star schedule, so I'm the responsible rock star, if you will.
She's still in bed, and I'm so sorry. But
That's
she sends
okay.
her love, and she says hello.
Yeah,
Maybe she was nervous. I don't know.
I know she was nervous, and
you were trying to coerce her very bad. You're like,
No,
come on,
for real.
sister feud.
Well, she was mad at you when I told her that, like, hey, you're coming in too.
Yeah, she was mad at me too.
Yeah, no, she was mad at you solely. And it's funny too, because I told you and Mike when it happened, because you guys don't recall, I guess, but I'm like, I know Ryan's becoming out of her shell, but like when we growing up, of course, now, what are you, like 24 now? 25, right? Yeah. And so I've been having you on my morning radio show since 13.
Yeah.
And then Ryan is like 2-3 years younger than you.
Yeah, she's 4 years younger.
4 years younger,
yeah.
Right? So Ryan would come on the show even younger, and Ryan has the same amount of talent. She sounds like has a wonderful voice. She knows how to play instruments as well, right? But she was the shyer of the two when we would sit you down, and it was always trying to like pulling words out of Ryan. And even though she's like a full blown woman now, and she is coming out of her shell, and And then when it's one-on-one and I'm talking to her, you know, like it's lit up and it's good to like, you know, have that communication. I know when that microphone's in front of her face, it's a different
She's
beast.
like, absolutely not. Although she's been, during like shows and stuff, she'll like, or during sound checks, I'm like, Rod, do you want to just sound check for me? And she's up there.
Living
Yeah,
it
you can say
Little
we're on the
rock
stream right now.
star.
on the podcast.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
we're good.
And then do me a favor. So kind of get in the center of the screen
yeah,
and
I
you can
see, I
see the
see.
monitor. Yeah.
This way.
Yeah, I gotta see this beautiful face. Now, when did you dye your hair red?
I dyed my hair red years ago.
And was this immediately after a breakup?
No, weirdly enough, isn't that funny?
Because it's usually
the one time it's not.
always,
We're like, what?
It's always after a breakup. It's always like the mental breakdown. You're like, I need to switch things up. No,
Yeah, that's a sign to like, you know, a woman has been like heartbroken
that her
and
heart is
she's
broke.
yeah.
If the head shaved, that's like even. That's
No,
like
I
no.
almost
DEFCON
did that
4,
though.
see?
I almost
Yep.
did that.
You almost went Sinead.
Full
Huh?
Britney.
Yeah,
Really?
that would have been crazy.
That wouldn't have been good.
It would have been terrible. My friend, I was about to do it, and my friend called me and was like, "Hey, this is really weird, but like, it feels weird even telling you, but I had this nightmare. You shaved your head last night. Like, I just felt the need to
A
tell you
nightmare.
not to." I was like, "You're reading my mind. I was gonna do it, and then I didn't." So
It's so good that
Wow.
you had a friend and
I
gave you
know,
an
she's a real
intervention.
one. Full on intervention.
Yeah. Because
That's
I mean,
great.
I'm sure it'd grow back over time, but that's a lot of time.
That would be it.
All the
Identity
compliments about your
crisis.
head shape too. Like, you have a great head shape.
Oh my
You're like,
god! But what
"Thanks."
if it was terrible?
I'm like oblonged.
that would be awful.
That is a
Yeah,
nightmare.
I know your head does look round though. So
But who knows though?
Yeah,
You don't know till you shave it.
Todd says we gotta get that mic out of the side.
yeah.
Oh, it's my bad.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, there
this?
you go.
Boom.
I'm so
Thanks,
bad
Todd.
at this.
No,
Thanks,
come on.
Todd.
You're a pop
Todd's
star.
like, come on.
I should get.
You gotta show off the face, you know, which is so yeah. No, you might have the problem where if you shave your head, it may make your head look bigger than your body.
No.
Yes.
No, thank you. That's so. I don't need to be like a bobblehead. That'd be crazy. No, no.
Good merch idea though.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You don't have
So
a
maybe.
bobblehead yet?
I should
Yet.
do it. Someone
Funko
brought
Pop?
me a Funko Pop that they made
Oh.
of me, and I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever." But
Really?
I don't have a bobblehead. That would be sick.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
We know people.
Oh yeah.
A lot of bobbleheaders in Tucson.
Love it.
We don't know bobblehead people.
Find
so,
them.
yeah. All right. Well, well, thank you for waking up early and
you for
joining
having
us.
me.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff because I have questions about the industry. Obviously, you got the new record. You know who you've been working with. I was talking to your parents last night, and just jokingly, I was just like, I mentioned that you've probably been on 3 continents so far, but how many continents have you been on?
I think just 3.
Is it 3? So I guesstimated correctly. So
Yeah, you killed that.
Nailed
yeah.
it.
So obviously, North America.
North America.
You know, you've been to South America.
No.
You haven't been to South America yet.
No.
Okay, so the UK in that area. right?
Yeah, Europe
Europe.
and then Australia.
Oh yeah.
I just
wow.
went to Bali, but I feel like that doesn't really count as Asia because that's like far.
Yeah,
It's their Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's their Las
It is
Vegas.
really. That's what they say,
It is.
Australians. Yeah.
That
Oh.
was fun.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
you went to Bali because, well, it was just a vacation, right? Initially.
No, it was to write, which it felt like a cheat code for life because they just sent a bunch of like songwriters out there and they were like,
Oh,
write
wow.
songs in Bali. I was like,
Okay.
this is the best day, like best couple weeks ever. It was great.
Among the monkeys and the rest.
Okay.
of
Literally.
So yeah. So with that, so they send out a bunch of songwriters. Is this from the label where they're?
This is
Or
through it was
collective.
through like a management company that, and they didn't send out writers that were only under their management company. It was just writers and producers and artists from like all over.
Okay.
Like really from all over the world too. Like there were only like 3 people from America there, and then everyone else was from other places. It was so fun. It was crazy. It felt like a cheat code for life. I was like, this is crazy. You
that
can just write
sounds-
songs here.
Yeah, like a songwriter summer camp in a way.
Summer camp. It was
Really?
totally summer camp. It
Okay,
was
so
great.
they send you all there, and I guess this management company then is in the business of licensing songs then and selling songs, or what is the purpose for their investment to get all these different talents from under like different umbrellas all together?
That is a great question.
You don't
I
even
don't
know?
know. The whole time I was thinking that, I was like, they're like paying for our dinners and shit, but like they're like they don't get like publishing on the songs unless like one of their clients or whatever are one of the writers.
Yeah.
So I was like, are they just doing this because they're dope and nice? And I'm pretty sure they just do it to like bring artists and writers together.
I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
what's
I
the
know. I'm like,
catch?
wait, but
What's
you're
the
actually
catch?
cool.
Right? You're actually
Yeah.
legit people? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but
Weird.
I don't know them.
yeah, that is weird though. So I mean, I guess there are some people out there that are just trying to push this together for the greater good of the
Yeah,
art.
what the
But
fuck is wrong
there's
with that?
always business.
Crazy.
This is a music industry. I don't know.
You always are like, there has to be a
Exactly.
There has to be a purpose
Yeah.
for this investment to get a
Cynical.
return off the investment, unless it was like Melinda Gates funding it, and or a female philanthropist,
Or unless the Bali estate was like, oh, we have rock stars in here, we can use that for our social media.
Maybe it's
Promote it.
that.
Who
Maybe.
knows?
All right. So, was there anyone other notable singer-songwriters that were part of this group that
Yeah. I mean, there was this producer that I've been like looking up to forever. He goes by Oak.
Okay.
And he is like a crazy pop producer, did a bunch of dope shit in like the early 2000s. And yeah, I've looked up to him forever. So I got to work with him there, which was really cool.
Now going to Bali too, do they set up and rent a bunch of instruments? Because I mean, to fly those instruments over.
So expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
No, there's no way I was flying shit over there.
Right.
I've had to spend one time I was in Australia trying to like check all my gear back to the US. They tried to charge me $13,000 just to get my gear back. It was
13,000.
13,000.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So how did you get your gear back, and how much it ended up costing?
I had to pay. I started just sobbing in the airport, and then somehow like a friend that I had met in Australia took all of our gear and like shipped it to us for way cheaper.
Wow.
It was like a whole thing, but it was
I would have been like, this
terrifying.
is my emotional support gear.
No,
Bring it on the
I
plane
know,
with you.
right? Like I just have to
This is
hold
my-
all
I
of
need
this.
Yeah. I'm sure you
That's
name your
crazy.
guitar. So they have all the equipment out there set
Yeah, they
up.
had like a studio that was in Bali that they've used for this writing camp for like years.
And this
it's
is
cool.
basically like a resort setup then?
Literally, basically, it was like a villa.
A
it
villa.
was so cool. It was
Kind of
so
like,
fun.
yeah, just like, so like MTV's The Challenge. They send
Yeah.
everybody out in this huge, oversized kind of mansion villa, all artists.
Yeah.
And then so in the daytime, you're writing, and the nighttime, you guys are partying and getting to know each other.
Yeah, sort of. And then, some nights we would go out and party and be like, we should go back and work again. And then you would work. Like, it was just like a free for all. It was so fun.
And there was nobody in charge that was driving to work saying, hey, you guys got to do this amount of work or anything like that. It was 100% creative freedom. Like, you get inspired. If you feel like working, then you could work here. Or if you want to dick around in Bali, you could do that.
Basically, I mean, every morning they would be like, here are the groups. They would put you in groups so
Yeah.
that you weren't just working with the same people every day.
Oh, that's
And
good.
they'd be like, okay, go off, whatever. And, some days you wouldn't get anything because you'd just be like chatting it up or whatever. But for me, I'm very like, if I'm in the studio and if I'm here, I want to like get shit done. So
Yeah.
I was like, I want to work, and so was mostly everyone. But there was definitely freedom to just like, if you wanted to hop on like the little mopeds and just like go see some monkeys, you could do that. It was
Did you
so
do the
fun.
monkey forest, the Abood?
I wanted to, but
That
I
was so
didn't have
fun.
time. That's where I stayed in Abu.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
sick.
That's
So
the
you've
fun.
been to Bali?
Uh-huh.
So
Back in
crazy.
2018.
Yeah.
So
First time on a
fun.
scooter, I biffed it. I like almost
Really?
died.
Because
It
there
was
are
so
no
bad.
rules when you drive
No,
there at
it's
all.
it's a different planet.
It's
They're like,
crazy.
America's land of the free. It's like, no, go to Southeast
Bali.
Asia or Bali. Like they don't care. They're just like, do whatever you want, just don't die.
Yeah.
And if
You're
you
good.
die, that's on you.
That's on you.
Yeah, that's your
That's
fault.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Oh yeah,
That is sick.
that is a fascinating setup and very odd. But do you feel like when you went in there, didn't you have some sort of like writer's block going into Bali?
Yeah, I feel like I'm always going through phases. Like there are writers who can write like all day, every day for months on end
Yeah.
and be amazing. And I cannot do that. Like I feel like if I do 2 to 3 weeks of like intensive like studio everyday writing,
Yeah.
I burn out so fast. And so yeah, getting out of LA and like I did a writing trip to like Nashville earlier this year and then went to London and then I got to do Bali. Like if I didn't have those trips, like I feel so fortunate I get to do that because I get burnt out so easily if I'm just like in one place.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, that's the I told this to Rico. The saying is the art of life is to have a life to create art from. Right.
100%,
So when
yeah.
you're you spend too much time just in the studio and getting all that out of your system and stuff, then you have nothing else that you're kind of feeding it, replenishing
Yeah, there's
it
nothing
with.
to write about. You're
Right.
like, wait, I need to go live my life a little bit. And then
Yeah.
Right.
So you have a new single coming out called Bali Monkeys.
it's called Bali Monkeys. Yes.
So fire.
The
So
experimental
fire.
album. She's playing all the instruments. and
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
actually
damn,
just
okay.
instrumental. Yeah, exactly.
Like Andre 3000.
Um,
Your instrument.
So we're gonna get on the FM side here in about 45 seconds as we continue the conversation. So
Which means I can't cuss.
yes,
Right,
yes,
okay.
I do have a dump. So if you do curse once, don't worry about it. Just don't follow it
Don't
up.
do it twice.
Yeah. So if you say shit, don't say oh fuck. You know,
Yeah.
You can't say fuck
Okay.
shit. Okay.
Got
So
it.
Oh,
as we go. We might even get Max Frost up in the conversation as well, because you're going to be going to songwrite with Max too in Nashville.
I'm going to Nashville for a tour, so I'm going to see him because he lives out there now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, staying busy, which will lead to the conversations that we're going to have here on the FM side here in about 10 seconds. So let's do that. We got some Nirvana that I'm playing.
Let's go.
Always
slay.
Yes. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Joining me in studio, a very special guest, near and dear to my heart. She just packed out Club Congress last night. She is signed to Arista Records. She has a Spotify with hundreds of millions of views or spins, if you want to call it that. We got the one and only Taylor Upsahl. She goes by Upsahl. Good morning, Taylor.
How are you?
Good. I'm actually going to go back and forth in how to refer to you when we're on the FM side, because
whatever.
Either Taylor dropped the Taylor because there's too many Taylors, and there's this one Taylor. I don't know if you heard of her. This one Taylor is like selling out like stadiums and stuff for like all over the world. She happens to be like an instrumentalist and a singer-songwriter. So this one on that same level and stuff, but unfortunately, you get to a point where you corner a name. They're just like, you can't do it. So
drop the Taylor.
Yeah, luckily you got a cool last name in Upsahl. I entitled this podcast "What's Upsahl,"
and it gave her the coolest Instagram handle.
Obsessed with that. That's what my handle is on Instagram. Yep. I love that. What's Upsahl?
I know
it's so good.
It is. It clicks. It's good. You're working on branding, and
we're trying.
Just putting out tons of music and like songwriting. You wrote songs for Dua Lipa. You're going to be going on a tour with an artist that you just wrote a song with. Who's that?
Oh, I'm going on tour opening for Madison Beer in a couple days.
Yeah, Madison Beer is a big deal for people under the age of 30.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Hey. And we're getting there. Honestly, Tay, I've always considered myself cool until you get to a certain age where you're like, oh, damn, man. Yeah, I'm getting
do I not get it?
Out of the cool. But so you wrote a song for her, and then now you're going to go on tour. And this is essentially how you've been kind of building this network, right? Of just working with these artists and gifting. Yeah. What makes you decide to give a song to, say, Madison Beer and not keep it for yourself?
I don't know, because it's every time I always have a moment of like, wait, but should I give this song away? Do I want this for myself?
Right.
But I think it's just, if someone dope, especially young women, if they like the song and they want to make it their own and go play it on tour and stuff, I'm like, why would I stop that? That's so cool. And Madison, I've been a fan of her forever, so it was just a dream getting to do it. And it's cool. I feel like a lot of those songwriting moments where we get to be in the studio together and work on music it leads to us getting to tour together, which is really cool to combine both worlds.
Yeah. Well, and that's the best part of the networking. Just hey, yeah, we created this great art together. I'm going on tour, need a support act.
Yeah.
You want to get out there, and you've been on the road almost consistently since pandemic too. Yeah. So how often do you think you were on the road in the last calendar year as far as touring? Because you just came back from a European tour opening for Melanie Martinez.
So fun.
Yeah, that was an arena
tour. It was
arenas.
It was so fun. Yeah. So fun.
I'm going to get into a couple other questions on that in the podcast broadcast stream, but how long were you on the road?
I feel like I was probably on the road. It seems crazier in my head than it was. Maybe it was 5 months total of last year, which was total.
Yeah.
Throughout. Yeah.
That's still a large chunk. And in between that, you're doing songwriting sessions, and, that's in destination songwriting sessions. So, how often were you at your place in LA?
So rarely.
Right.
Yeah, so rarely.
So you're overpaying for storage at this point,
yeah,
right?
No, it's insane. I was talking to Chloe last night, who opened at Club Congress, and we were both just paying rent in LA and going on tour is the worst feeling in the world. You're my money's just flying out the window.
Yep. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because you could keep stuff anywhere.
Yeah, I could just get a storage unit or just keep all my stuff in my parents' house. I've thought about it. We'll see.
Yeah. It's always a possibility for sure. Upsahl has performed and written songs and collaborated with tons of KFMA artists, including Mike Shinoda, with what's the name of that song? Happy Endings. Yes. Dreamers. She also, that Dreamers song had Big Boy from Outkast on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just building up a who's who on the resume of different artists to collaborate with, which is fantastic as well. And who else am I leaving off that list too? Who are you trying to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
I mean, I always have said I want to work with Doja Cat. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
She's so cool.
Have you met her yet?
No.
Oh.
I would love to.
We gotta get you in this circuit, right? So, like, well, here's a deal. You know, obviously, like festivals are a circuit, but it's very political. You know, and I'm seeing obviously a whole bunch of lineups and artists that aren't even comparable in the level of quality and the catalog that you're continuing to build.
Period. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so like right now you're not technically in for the technical the festival surface or circuit. Yeah. So what do you got to do to politic your way into that? And what are you waiting for? Just turning the corner or what?
Yeah, I think what the problem is, I've been doing a lot of the festival circuits in Europe.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting that I've been booking more of those than in the US. But I think what it is with like bigger festivals here is you only get to play it once every like 4 years or something, unless you are
the headliner.
Yeah, exactly. So I like don't want to like waste my big opportunity to play like a Coachella on, I don't know. It's been interesting. Like I got to play Lollapalooza last year, which was so amazing.
Yes.
But again, like I had to wait 4 years since I had played it the last time on like a super teeny tiny stage.
Yeah.
So I think it's a waiting game, and also just like, especially nowadays, it's like if you're a newer, quote unquote newer artist,
right,
like me,
and you're 25 and still young into the game, even though you got signed at like 18. So yeah, I mean, like right out the gate. Yes, absolutely.
They only want to book an artist if they're like popping off on the TikTok or whatever. So right now I'm working on that. But
well, I'm glad that you brought up the TikTok because TikTok has changed as far as the landscape. UMG, they just revised some rules. We're going to talk more about that with Upsahl on the podcast broadcast stream. We got some clips from last night, so you can review yourself. I got some unsolicited advice I'm going to give you as well, and we'll have some special friends pop in. I'll always give you unsolicited advice.
Thanks.
When we come back after Music for Three Doors Down, I'll give you a hipster rundown of how far back I go, farther than your car seats with this young woman right here. We're keeping the conversation moving though. On the podcast broadcast, you can join us youtube.com/bevegan or keep it right here on Rock 102.1.
Unsolicited advice.
Yay!
Can't wait.
Let's go. I love unsolicited advice.
Here's our first unsolicited advice. We were doing this right before you popped in.
Some anonymous guy filmed this. What a jerk.
Yeah.
Who the
and we're already selling it.
making so much money.
So
you
much
get none of that. That's all pirate shit.
Period.
Okay. First off, let's start off with compliments and shit. Okay. So, what material was your shirt made of last night? That's like a leather, pleather.
It was like latex.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna wear that again. That was tough.
Well, it was super hot, right?
Yeah.
Like as far as the temperature
hot in there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're in Arizona. You know that. You grew up here on the west side, and that's why another reason why I can't be prouder, because she's the town of the west side.
Yeah, we were like neighbors. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, like a block away. So the backstory again, real quick for any new viewers or whatever, is that like her dad sent me the music, but yes, so I have my own show. It's independent radio. I'm able to program my own music. She's 13 years old. He gives me the pitch. I roll my eyes at it. I listen to the song. It was fantastic. Play it on the radio blindly for listeners and say, what do you think? And then my phones blew up. Wow. And they're just like, it's amazing. And then I'm like, well, here's the kicker. She's only 13 years old and she lives right around the corner from me. So you're talking like, it was important for me, for the success of the station that I was on, to build that station, which is what we were doing, was to create our own talent and build our own talent. And Taylor quickly became one of these like stars on the station, that these older bands that were stars on the station quickly started being like, what the fuck is this kid? And became fans of hers. And then then we started booking her on shows. She started becoming a draw. Bigger draw than bands who were literally in the game, selling out venues in Tempe for like 5-10 years.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah, dude.
That's a good start.
Yeah. So from the first little CD release you had at the coffee shop that my daughter and I joined, and
oh my gosh, she was like what, like 6, 7?
Yeah, super young.
So crazy.
And you were like 13, and then to selling out the Crescent and doing those shows, to see that build has been fantastic. So then the next show that you have in Phoenix is going to be at the Van Buren,
Love it.
Yeah, opening
So
up for
fun.
Madison
That's
Beer. I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I know. And you've been doing arenas and things like that. So I actually lost my train of thought as far as
You're going to say some unsolicited advice. We're talking about her
Right.
latex futuristic
yeah,
shirt.
yeah. Okay, so okay. So here's well,
When you poured the water on, I was like, that's for her survival, not for
It
the
is.
audience. You're just like,
Honestly,
"I
it
am
was
hot."
so refreshing. It was great.
but this is part of the unsolicited advice, and this is the compliment. Okay, so yes, the water during wet t-shirt was not only was that a good move, but what really fucking made it was when you flung the water to the crowd.
Yeah.
And I was like,
SeaWorld moment.
punk rock.
Yes,
Yes. Yes.
So,
So
love it.
to see your stage show develop, and it's not like a pop star Britney Spears, here's some dance move stage show. It is a whole interaction of like you going from instrument to instrument. You're doing the back-to-back solos. You got your psychedelic moments in Pink Floyd, but really with a very high energy, like indie pop kind of a set. The flow of it, fantastic. The mixture of the down-tempo songs in the middle, bringing the energy back up, closing it out. It just shows that you've been getting that like stage time and those hours in where I'm like, this is such a pro show.
It was a show.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
it was a show.
Sick.
Yeah, and it wins anyone over, and each and every time. And there's, you could tell the difference between, an amateur and a pro. So you have this $1 million show, and as you continue to grow, and when that opportunity arises, you're going to be ready for it, and just waiting for the time where it's like, okay, now it's your time, and that's what it is. It's basically I feel like the industry just has you in queue, ready to drop and place you right where you need to be, as long as you keep it consistent.
The real pro moment was the earpiece failing, and we didn't even notice as an audience. We didn't notice as an audience. He told us afterwards, and I was like, oh, okay.
No, I noticed. I
Noticed.
noticed the whole fucking time.
So what was going on with your ears?
Yeah, initially started sort of beginning when she yanked out her first like left ear, and I was like, uh-oh. And then I saw her checking her pack behind her back, right?
Yeah.
But she did it. You were doing it in a way where it was still part of the show where I'm like, I know people are noticing this, but I'm like, oh no, those goddamn ear monitors, man.
They're the worst.
Yes,
they're the worst.
But they're also the best.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's tough.
I know, but like a pro. I mean, you handled it, and not anyone else is noticing, but I got a kick out of that.
Dance move, and I was like,
funny.
okay,
yeah,
yeah. I'm like, taking off my earpiece.
Yeah, this is the part of the song where I go like this out of frustration.
Yeah,
but this
where I freak out.
The audience starts doing that. Like, yeah, that's a good move. I'm feeling that.
That was tough.
Let's talk TikTok. Okay. So, UMG came out or, had their license pulled from TikTok or pulled their own license for TikTok because they wanted more money.
Yeah.
Your music catalog was completely under UMG, 100% of it. And obviously artists are all about building their fan base, especially their younger fan base through TikTok because it is everything in building the music industry. And even your label was like, what TikToks you put out today, right? Like that's the music industry, is record labels saying, how much work did you put in on your social media to make us money?
Period.
Yeah. So then, so you wake up, you find out that all your music's basically pulled. And then your idea was, okay, now I have to re-record everything from scratch as like this workaround, right?
Yeah.
How much did you end up getting done and putting up there, and did it work?
No, it didn't work.
Okay.
But I did a bunch of like looping, like, here's how to make my song since UMPG took it off. I did a bunch of that just to like stay active on the channel, as the label would say. But like, yeah, honestly, it was half really upsetting, but half a relief because I was like, okay, like they're definitely going to come to terms. It's going to come back eventually. But for now, like I don't have the pressure to post my songs. And it worked out for me because I was just in the studio working on new shit anyways.
Yeah.
So I was just like, it's fine. I'll take a break. And then the timing worked out perfectly because I'm promoting a new song now. And
now it's back.
The music is back.
Yes.
So it's perfect.
So did you get like an email from the record label saying, okay, here's the good news. All of your former music is now back on the platform, and anything moving forward back on the platform. Now, is it back with more residual for the artist?
I think that was sort of the point of the whole thing. And I think Sony also redid their terms as well to match Universal's.
Right. Yeah.
So all the labels have kind of followed each other to to make the songwriters and the artists more money, which is cool.
Yeah, and well, I mean that's good. It's such a it was a catch-22 as far as the argument's concerned, though, because they're just like artists are like, hey, we want to make money off our music, and then TikTok's like, well, you just got like 1 million new fans because of this platform, so you're welcome.
Yeah,
and
it's
go
tough.
Fuck off,
it's like I could go back and forth and like argue either side, but honestly, I was relieved when it got taken off. As the short answer for a second.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so you didn't have to be a slave to the game.
I didn't have to make TikToks for a minute, and it just worked out because then I got to make all my stuff for the new album and new music. It was a nice little break.
Well, we talk about that every once in a while. The grueling sort of new aspect about being an artist in this modern day and age. Back in the day, you know, there's never the worry about focusing on your music and your creativity versus appealing to the masses via some algorithmic fervor constantly, and it's just like that's got to be heavy.
Yeah,
you know. So it's like, when they split, you're like, thank you.
I was like, okay, cool, I can go right now.
Yeah. No, I constantly use you as an example when talking to young unsigned artists too, and you know, just talk about the importance of the social media and how that changed the game. It's so weird that it's there. So with that though, you know, you had a while where Arista was just like telling you content. What is Arista doing for you for this next record to help you reach that next level as far as audiences and stuff?
They're being amazing. It's like the most. It's funny, like when everyone is hype on one song, it's crazy how involved everybody wants to get. And the song I'm about to put out is that song, and like.
Good. They're all stoked about it.
They're all stoked and have been amazing. And you know, no one was making music videos. Like artists my level weren't getting budget for music videos for a year or two because it was all going towards TikToks instead. I got to shoot my first music video in like a year and a half a couple days ago, which was awesome.
Nice.
And I basically was like, I really need help on TikTok. Can you help me with like a marketing digital team? And so now I have people helping me. Like it just feels so nice to have that support.
Yes. Like it's like, just give me some help, right? If you believe in me, again, this is your product. Like help.
Like let's do this together.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because honestly, I mean, it is asking a lot, and then try to like just drain you, right? You know, like just all the effort and energy. Let's get back on the air as we continue the conversation. So as we're doing radio.
Business pros.
Yeah. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We got Upsahl in studios. We were talking about the grind of TikTok and social media in general, and also the importance not only to the artists but to record labels in general. That isn't their entire marketing department now. You know, it's like they're not spending money on billboards and you know, things like that anymore. It's just 100% boosting on TikTok and sit back and enjoy. But you know, we're gonna see if even TikTok's going to be a thing here in the next year or so. Which obviously you're pro TikTok, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you? Would it be that detrimental? They took it away though, and then like record labels are like, oh, I guess we'll just do billboards again.
I feel like there'll just be there will be a new social media.
It's a vacuum.
Is that like the same thing, but a different name probably?
Then you have to learn it all over again.
I know. That's the thing.
What's your favorite social media to use besides TikTok?
Instagram. Instagram. It's an OG.
When was the last time you've been on Facebook, or is that just for old people?
My mom uses my Facebook. Actually, she's the one who's logged in, and that's how she keeps up with everyone. So she's on it every day.
So is she basically in charge? And that answers the old person question, does it not? You know, not that your mom's old, but like I got my mom in charge of my Facebook. It's like, great. So. So is she in charge of your branding on Facebook, doing any kind of posts or reshares or any of that?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe she's posting. I don't know. I think all my stuff auto posts. Like anything I post on Instagram goes to Facebook.
Yes.
My mom just uses it to like scroll because she never wanted to make her own. So she's like, I'm just gonna use yours.
No, you know, in fact, what you don't know is that sometimes she'll just, you know, she'll do little text posts as you,
right,
and try to, you know, like I'm just reading this one. What's up, Baze? And this is this Taylor's mom trying to be hip. It's like, you know, whenever I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, I go to Captain Bill's.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, her mom was so great about this. There's a legendary sub shop up in Phoenix, Arizona that I grew up loving. Everyone on the west side knew this place. It was Captain Bill's, a sub shop. And Captain Bill's was legendary for many reasons. It started like kind of in the 80s, the prominence. all the pictures. There was always beautiful girls working there. Captain Bill was always the kind of guy that just knew how to hire pretty women. I'm like, Bill,
Captain.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
Taylor's mom worked there forever since she was a teenager and ended up, becoming a manager. And when you go into Captain Bill's, you will legitimately see baby pictures of Taylor playing guitar.
Oh, wow.
And but then mixed in with like hot babes from the 80s.
Yeah.
80s, right?
Exactly.
And then
Wholesome.
eventually, Captain Bill, unfortunately, he passed away, but he left Captain Bill's to Taylor's mom. And
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
it's still continuing to grow in that area around 35th Avenue in Peoria. And it's a legacy, which is amazing. And you worked at Captain Bill's, so you know how to make some subs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
stuff.
We went yesterday with the band. Every time we're in Phoenix, they're like, can we go to Captain Bill's? It's so good.
That's the next music video right there.
In
the
Captain
sub shop,
Bill's.
yeah.
Why
I know.
not? Why haven't you not made a music video in Captain Bill's yet?
Because
Sandwich
my
making.
brother's band called dibs on it.
So
Yep.
what? Now her brother's band is awesome, and
Yeah.
It's an
her
honor
brother's name is Corbin, and
Yeah.
he's got a great punk rock band, and we'll probably end up playing him on the station here soon enough.
Oh.
But so what?
I know.
You
I
can
gotta
both
fight him
do
for it.
it.
I know. We gotta do like a collab in there or something.
Yeah.
You don't even
Yeah.
have to collab. You could do both. You could be like,
We'll
okay,
both do
well,
it.
let's shoot one music video that will get 1 million views, and then we'll shoot your music video, and it might do all right too. And,
Yeah.
eventually maybe 1 million views. But
We gotta do it.
yes,
Yeah.
dude.
I gotta tell him. Yeah, it's time. It's time for Captain Bill's
time.
music video.
Didn't your dad shoot a music video on Captain Bill's?
He did. That's why it's like an important thing of like who gets to recreate
how funny.
what
Yes.
dad did. It. Yeah.
Now,
See.
Taylor is just this amazing kind of like old soul talent and was just like a fish to water when it came to music instruments at a very early age, like literally toddler. There's pictures of her playing guitar as a toddler in diapers, right?
Sold out
Two
crowd.
questions.
Period.
Two questions. One, are you still wearing diapers? And two,
Sometimes.
do you remember the very first song that you were able to play from beginning to end on guitar, and how old were you?
It was Fireman by Jawbreaker because it's like open D tuning, so you just like bar chord the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was probably like 6.
Yes.
Yeah, my dad taught it to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know,
great.
insane. Yeah. So Upsahl is the name of the artist. Look her up on Spotify, social media, wherever you search for music. She's there with a very prominent and deep catalog with many big name artists, and it's just fantastic, catchy music. So that's Upsahl. We're gonna keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast, wrap things up on the FM side with your beef tip after these words. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Yeah, that's very punk rock answer as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
Street
then
cred, baby.
Little Jawbreaker. Let's go.
Yeah, I know. It's so gangster. So gangster.
Love it.
Yeah. And then what about the same question but with piano? What was the first piano song you were able to
I think
master?
I did so cheesy. Let It Be by the Beatles at like a talent show.
Classic.
Okay, yeah.
That's what got me into. But my grandma was teaching me like classical piano when I was like 6 too. That's kind of when I started like instruments.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, well, hell, I mean, you would dick around and strum with guitars as early as you were
Yeah.
crawling, and
Yeah.
then being able to kind of like gravitate towards notes. So, and there's no explanation. I can't even ask you a question like, what were you thinking? You weren't, you just, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like embedded in your DNA. And to see
Which
that,
fascinates me. It's like a different species when I see people good at
Mhm.
instruments. I'm just like, how?
I'm telling you.
For real, my brother is like the one with the music talent in my family.
Oh,
Like
sick.
he just guitar, drums, it's like metalhead to EDM now. It's crazy.
Oh,
but it's like just
crazy.
he's all like his brain.
It's like a different language for
It
sure.
really is.
Yeah.
But
It
I'm
absolutely
always
is.
fascinated with musicians too. I'm like, what instrument have you ever come across that you just couldn't stand or couldn't acclimate to?
Drums.
Drums, okay.
I'm so bad at drums. I
Really?
tried
Rhythm.
playing it at a show. Like I tried doing it on a couple tours ago, and we rolled through Phoenix, and I tried it. And my dad after was like, "That drum thing was really cool, but like, you don't need to do that again."
All nice about it.
Yeah, I was
Like,
like,
just
"Okay,
don't."
I love it. I'm here for the honesty. I appreciate it."
Yeah.
But yeah, drums are tough. It's a lot
Yeah.
of coordination.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, really? That's the only thing you can't do, really?
Well, I haven't really tried lots of others.
Well, I mean, do
Sitar.
yeah, really have time to do it, honestly, yeah, after a while.
I'm good with guitar, bass, and piano.
Have you
Yeah.
actually done sitar? Seriously though?
No,
Ever
that'd
tried
be
it?
crazy.
I'm
Have
also
you?
curious. No.
That'd be kind of.
I don't play
crazy.
guitar. I'm
Maybe
proficient
sitar.
at
What if you
sitar.
were really
Watch.
good at sitar? You should try it.
I'm like, damn, Ravi Shankar.
Yeah,
Here we go, babe. Yeah,
Well, I mean, coming from Bali and stuff, weren't you inspired to do a little sitar
a little bit.
on some of the? Not you. I'm talking
In the-
about Taylor. You didn't make an album.
Well, How do you
thought
know?
about it.
Maybe he did.
Yeah,
He did.
maybe I
No,
did.
I know him.
I'm hiding it. I know him. He probably is actually. I'm like, oh damn it.
Yeah, let's see. Did I do the robot? No, I did not do the robot. Ray did. Did you get to meet Ray?
Yes,
Yeah.
she's so sweet.
She is.
We got
yes.
to spend some time together last night.
That's
She's
good.
amazing.
Yeah, I got her on that show. And because of two reasons. One, you know, she's tapped into the scene. It's a similar kind of scene and style, same age group down here. I was like, you know, her friends will want to come out to the show as well.
Sick,
So this is a perfect lineup for her. Two, I had her on this show a while back, and then I casually name drop you like your dad casually names drops drinking with Robert Plant.
Period.
Oh, Robbie.
Yes, which that's a good
Little
story
Rob.
that Mike has done. And so when I did though, she like lit up and she's like, "Oh my god, I love her," and like, you know, totally fangirled out.
That's
and
right.
so when I saw that you were announced on this one, then I was like, "Oh, okay, well this is a no-brainer. This would be good
cool.
for the show and good for her." And I reached out to Psycho Steve and I was like, "All right, you should probably make this happen." Sure enough, it was a great show from beginning to end. It was packed.
Epic. That's so rad.
When you
Thank
shouted out
Yeah.
them too, it's so funny. It's like the hot girl summer vibe.
I
It's
literally
like,
was like, all
I'm
the hot
assembling my
girls are
army.
out tonight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was great. It was
Little
fun.
army.
Yeah, that was amazing.
So
It
fun.
was a very you know, the show just kind of fit pretty well. I mean, you
Mhm.
had both Chloe and Ray have their kind of like setup where it was like they got their DJ and them performing, and then in going into your you know set, which is more which does have backing tracks, but you
Yeah.
know more instruments, and then you know but made it super simple for the setup. and
Yeah,
everything.
very, which is
Mhm.
nice.
And then call and responses. And you both, you know, the call and response thing. Here's the unsolicited advice again.
Go for
I'll
it.
get into this because
Please do.
it was just too. Look, I understand I'm old and it's like my memory's not there, but you know, like especially with a new song,
I
you know, you're like, okay, so I'm gonna say, put your hands up. You're going to say. That the patriarchy was designed to, you know, and then
The
going into
Magna
this whole
Carta
thing.
was signed.
Yeah, that was tough. That
Yeah,
was
so
tough.
here's
And the water's so cold, but the party don't stop.
Easy.
Can we try
Yeah, that's
that? And the summer's so hot, so we take our clothes
Right.
off. And the water's so cold, but the party don't stop, bitches. Okay, that's the first half.
kind of messed that up.
The second half goes,
Then we're like, wait a
everybody's so
Like,
wet.
there's more.
You go, and I know.
second. When there was the
Panicked.
second half, I was like, I was just like literally straining my brain to remember this first
The
half.
first part.
Listen,
There's a whole nother second half, and then you're like, and then the
I was
bridge.
looking
I'm
at
like,
Beef like, help me.
fucking bridge? Are you kidding me?
And
Like,
the
that was
outro.
tough. That was tough.
Yeah. Now, and I was explaining to Rico how like in the fans and the shows you have like different levels of fandom, just like radio. Like there's P1s, you got the hardcores, they know every word, every song.
Yeah.
Then you have the casuals that are super fans of a couple songs, and then you have the people that heard the buzz and are there. So like different tiers.
Totally.
And so of course your P1s, they're gonna be there and they're like, whatever you say, Queen. Do I need to remember this book? Okay.
Great.
Yeah, I never said that. And they did. They were in the front.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, then you had some old people in the back. They're just like, you lost me at the second bridge.
No, I know.
Or-
It was a lot. It
Yeah.
was a lot. It was, but I didn't want to just be singing the song and no one could sing along. That would make me feel
Yeah,
so sad
I know.
up there.
I'm
I
kind
know.
of proud of
I had
Tucson.
to
They did
force
pretty
them
decent.
to. They killed it. I
Yeah.
also just Aubrey's my videographer. We were before the set. I was like, how cool would it be if we taught the audience the song and then we could film it for TikTok?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so I was like, I have to teach them.
Yes.
It was great.
And
Smart.
you did. It was
yeah.
there was a lesson. We're back here live in Rock 102.1 KFMA. There was a point where Upsahl turned into a college professor and had them memorize a monologue to
Yeah.
sing back to her and their brand new single, which is called
It's called Summer So Hot.
Summer So Hot.
It
And
slaps.
that's going to be officially
Thanks.
released when?
I think it's like I should know this. It's like the second week of June
Nice. As
Soon.
the summer gets hot.
as the summer gets hot.
All right,
Yep.
so keep an eye on that, and of course the music video, and go down the rabbit hole of Upsahl. That's UPSAHL. And what's Upsahl on the social media? It's simple as that. Make sure you follow her. Trust me, you could start off with drugs and work your way down. It's fantastic music, and Taylor, I love you.
Love
This
you.
FM side is going to wrap up, but I want to keep you a couple minutes extra as we wrap up this conversation on the podcast broadcast, okay?
Please.
Anything else you want to throw out to the listeners where they can follow you or what else to look forward to?
I'm here. I'm touring a bunch, releasing a bunch of music, and Beef Vegan is like the best person ever. And I love you. Thanks for having me.
That's good endorsement. I got that on video, so I'm going to use that as a clip. So,
Yes.
Arizona born and raised, Taylor Upsahl. Check her out. Thank you guys for listening. Tomorrow morning, we'll continue to do the thing starting at 6. Till then, Robin Nash is up next, and she has tickets to give away for Falling in Reverse. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish
Remember this?
Yeah, I know. You will come
Let's go to old school
and
Slipknot.
do all your
good.
Yeah.
That's
Bella
great.
says, dope show last night. She was out there.
Thanks, Bella.
And she sees a lot of shows, and she came up to me. That was the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was great.
You see
Love
Ali. Ali's a loyal listener. He's one of my P1s, and he's the one that has the Beef Vegan impersonation.
Oh yeah, he's so dope. I love him.
He goes, all
Hey,
my
guys.
remotes. I've been seeing Ali since I came down here. All my little remotes is Ali will come out, and so I'm just like, all right, Ali, and he's like, I know how to sound just like you, and then
Pretty good.
yeah, and he gives everyone, and it's like, oh, son of a bitch, like this is how I sound.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Mhm. All right. Yeah. Before we wrap things up, let's see what else we wanted to cover here. Because there was so much. You got a couple questions you want to ask Taylor before we let her. Where are you going after this? You just going back to Phoenix and chilling?
No, I'm driving today to. Oh, we have a show in Oklahoma City tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So I think we have a long drive today.
Oh, so you're gonna drive all the way through. So that was your
Mhm.
like van that was parked outside Congress last night.
Yeah, the Sprinter. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
fun.
Sprinter. Nice. Are you renting that, or is that like the label provides
Just
that?
renting it.
Yeah.
There's-
Cozy.
It's called like Band to Go. Is a place in LA you just rent the vans from.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So then, you're taking that like, do you know how long that's drive's gonna be
I feel like
Okay.
today it'll probably be like 13 hours or something
in the van?
in the van.
So what do you do to pass the time in the van when you got your, your crew,
Yeah,
your band, your sister,
Mhm.
so what do you do?
just like I journal a lot, just like writing novels about nothing, listening
Yeah.
to music, sleep really uncomfortably, like with my neck pillow, like try to get cozy.
Yeah.
There's not much to do. I like try to get some work done, but yeah.
Who's usually the designated driver?
Jimmy, who does my front of house and he tour manages us. He does
Oh,
like
good.
95% of the driving. And then my sister Ryan will hop in sometimes
Oh, yeah.
and drive.
Yo, really?
Can you picture her like in the front seat of this huge van? It's so funny. Yeah, she crushes.
Yeah, she's an adult now,
Yeah.
which is a trip. Seeing you guys all grow up and stuff, and yeah, she's handling responsibilities. And
She
I
is.
did want to have her on
I know.
to tell
me
the story
too.
about how she's transitioning into the music industry because she's becoming not necessarily TM. What is her role? What's her role for you, and then what's going to be her role for the other tour that she's going to jump on?
Yeah, I mean, her role overall for all of her tours, including mine, has been like merch
Mhm.
manager. And then for me, she doesn't want to say it, but she's like totally takes on like assistant stuff for me. Like she's
Yeah.
a dream and like so fucking helpful. It's insane. And yeah, I think eventually she wants to TM and do merch, like both.
Yeah.
She's so on top of it. It's like been so cool to watch her
That's awesome.
become.
It is
herself.
it is a lucrative career if you get into business, and she's in the business, and it's great. And I was gonna say that I know for a fact that your parents are not only so happy for both of you, but also probably sleep better at night knowing that you
Totally.
guys have each other and you guys are
Mhm.
doing this together, which is such a huge thing.
Yeah.
So because I'm sure there's ups and downs and everything else that comes along with just the lifestyle. But to have your rock and somebody that is literally just your family
Yeah.
there all the time, and vice versa, is really good. So
That's awesome.
I want to play you this clip real quick.
What is this?
Well, yesterday I was talking I had a guest in studio, and I was like, you're part of my retirement plan, so I need you to become billionaire status. So when they fire me from radio and they're like, fuck you, then like you could hire me in something. And then we were having this discussion,
Oh yeah.
and they're like, well,
Oh God, here we go.
well, why are you saying it like
Because
that?
it's funny. I'm
Okay.
excited. That wasn't a bad thing.
All right, I was just like, oh, this isn't that
Damn.
good. Yeah, I was like, Jesus, should I not bear this? So they're like, well, what job can you do? And I'm like, oh, I think I could be a good like dick, right? And so
Professional dick.
yeah, here's my pitch for being a dick. Hold on, guy, right? So Somebody has to be the bad guy because the artist never wants to be the bad guy, right? So they basically hire somebody to make an excuse to make sure the artist doesn't look like a dick, in so many words.
Yes.
I will be that dick.
You're a great dick.
I'm a great dick.
You're a great dick.
Please, like, let's get this on a text to her ASAP.
You need a dick? I'll be a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the problem in your career right now? You don't have a dick who is being
The dick.
the dick
Yeah.
to people to say, back up. No, sorry, she's busy, or she would love to do that, but unfortunately, I double booked her,
Right.
and make all types of.
So she can peek behind the door and go, no,
I
they're
will
fine.
keep you in mind if I ever need a dick.
Oh yeah. And
That's
you know
what they all say.
I have that recorded on video, and I would love to edit that
Yeah.
up, Brittany Battle.
That is incredible.
Yeah. So if
He's not wrong. That's a good
That's
position.
a great
The
position.
dick, like, she's busy.
But
She's
that's-
busy.
get outta
Go
here.
away.
But that's what your TM essentially does too.
Totally.
That is what that's the job. Honestly, I mean, actually, it's a more complicated job of just being the dick. In a perfect world, just
Right,
to say,
just
hey,
that.
can you call this person and tell them no? Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great. Yeah. Like that's a
Fantastic.
good salary. You're like, I could tell people.
You just
no
roll
all
out
the
of bed.
time.
You're like,
Hell
all right,
yeah.
I'll take care of this.
I would love that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
You would crush that. That's
Oh,
amazing.
Kimmy, I
You
know.
would crush.
Yeah. I tell people no all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just when they ask for like, can you donate money to this charity? Like, no.
No.
Yeah. So
He's the only guy I've seen at the tip thing at like Dunkin' Donuts. Like, do you want to tip on the thing? No.
No.
absolutely
No
not.
tip.
Yeah. No.
To their face. No.
Yeah. I
He
know
says
you're
it out
still.
loud. He's like,
Oh.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I worked at Dunkin'. I know you're stealing from the register. If you're not, then you're doing it wrong, right? You work at
Yeah.
Captain Bill's. You know the system.
Totally.
Nah.
No.
Mm.
That's so awesome. I love that.
Yeah. Well, it's been awesome getting you in studio again. What do you think
Thank
of
you.
our new living
It
room?
looks amazing. This is so dope.
Yeah. So they put a couple things into this. This actually was gifted by our streamers.
Wait, sorry. I'm just seeing the
The musical.
That was a gift too.
That's incredible.
That's a musical.
It's a great
This was
musical.
gifted by everyone.
By
Oh, that's
OG
amazing.
streamers that are on the stream right now, Anthony, Nick, and Manny. So the station doesn't necessarily provide, but the streamers
The
do.
people do.
The people do.
Thank you.
So yeah,
Love
we
the
made
people.
it super comfortable. All right, well, I know that you got to get out of here. There's obviously stuff that we'll catch up on, and I'll catch up on with you soon. But I know you got a long drive ahead of you.
No, I could stay and talk to you all day. Seriously, I'm
Yeah.
so grateful, and it's always like so full circle to get to see you.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I know, and that's the feeling that I have too, because it's just like, man, we've been doing this interview, and we've clocked in hours, and Taylor
Yeah,
has been was my go-to artist when I'm like, I need something today, and I hit up Mike and be like, can Taylor come in before school?
literally on the way to school, we would come in. Yeah,
That's
that was
funny.
crazy.
Yeah, and then listen to the show. But yeah, she would come in, she would perform, she would kill,
Yeah.
and then go on with her day. And then this was even for our radio music festivals
yeah,
and the Glue. I was the first person to pay you for a gig.
yeah.
Salty Senoritas.
Mhm.
I know.
I mean, beef is
That's
like the
wild.
reason I have my manager, who's the reason
Joe.
I have. Yeah, like I met Joe
wow.
through beef, and Joe's who introduced me to all the labels, like everything
Yeah, Max
comes
Frost.
back to this dude.
Yeah,
so,
Max Frost gets his mind. Well, it was Max Frost that did it, and
Yeah,
I basically, we played the song before of her cover of White Lies,
Yeah.
which was fantastic. And so with Max Frost, so when I got his ass in studio, which is not easy to do, I had to, I had to finagle and beg and be like, "Come on, man, it's gonna be good." Blah, blah,
come
blah.
on.
And as soon as I got him in, and I surprised him. I'm like, "Oh, by the way, this teenage girl's gonna cover your song in front of you."
So awkward. I
That's
love it.
crazy.
I love that.
And he fucking
Bold.
killed it.
Yeah.
And you killed it. And then he's been like one of your number one fans ever since.
He's like older brother. But I mean, he's done so much. We lived together in LA, and
Mhm.
he produced a lot of my music.
That's
He's
amazing.
Every time we talk with Max, and he's still, part of the fam. So, he can't say enough about you
Mhm.
in such a positive way. And it's great to see.
That's so
And so,
cool.
yeah. And it's great that how that all works out. Just
It's all fam vibes. I love it.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
again, you start selling out stadiums. So you'll get to a point where you'll need more than one dick.
You're gonna get that text one
Yeah.
day like, "Hey, it's your time to shine, B.
Yeah.
I could
Ready to
be
be a dick?"
Yeah, I could be third dick. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Third
Super
dick.
fucking low pro. Yeah. So
Can I
Love
be
that.
assistant dick? Can I be assistant dick?
Assistant dick is crazy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, you get there. I mean,
Okay.
say those people, the Taylor Swift, that status. I
she
hear
has
she has
probably like what?
like 117 dicks.
I
At
don't
least.
doubt it.
And counting.
I
Have you
don't
heard her
doubt it.
songs?
Ayo.
No.
Oh.
I'm not trying to talk shit about
Oh.
Taylor Swift while you're in
She's
studio.
so
I'm not
bad.
trying to
I
get you
know.
blacklisted. She got a lot of power. So.
Dude, she's so bad. I actually went to the Eras tour.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Now,
'cause
do
my
you-
friend
Whoa.
was Gail, who's amazing, was opening, and she was sweet enough to, because those tickets were so expensive.
Yeah.
A
And I was like,
mortgage.
"Hey, girl, like, I would love to see what Eras." She was like, "Dude, yeah, come through." And I got to watch it, and it was, as someone who like isn't like a Swiftie,
Yeah.
to get to watch the show as just like a music fan, it was pretty
I
fucking
bet.
crazy.
Yeah, well, and I'm
Pretty
sure
wild.
inspiring and gives you a bunch of ideas. Is it even possible for you to watch a show with an artist without your mind racing
No.
the entire time?
Yeah,
right?
you're just like, that's crazy, or like, I wonder what's happening in their ear, like just all that shit.
Yeah,
like
that's the
Right.
artist mentality. So you're never 100% in that moment, like watching another artist. You're literally thinking of 10 different things you want to do based off the things that you're seeing right there.
She
Yeah,
sees her monitor
exactly.
malfunction. She goes, she's just like me.
Yeah.
we're the same.
We're the same.
How's your
Dude.
muscle memory when you're on stage? I just saw this clip. It was crazy. It's Benny Blanco talking about writing with Ed Sheeran, right?
Mm.
And because Ed Sheeran's like a songwriting machine as well.
Yeah.
He said he was writing a song with Ed right before he was about to perform at like Gillette Stadium. And so like they're writing the song together backstage, and then they're like 10 minutes, somebody comes in, it's like, sign these t-shirts. He's like, okay, sign t-shirts, and he's still writing the song, right? And then 5
So
minutes, like
rockstar.
people come in for pictures. He goes and he takes pictures with people, and then he goes, 2 minutes, you got to get to the stage. And he turns to Benny Blanco and he goes, all right, so keep writing the song, and then we'll finish it after I'm done with this set. Then he goes on the stage for 2.5 hours, comes backstage, drenched in sweat, and he goes, hey, I figured out the chorus while I was doing my show.
That's awesome.
And Benny's like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, mate, that's all muscle memory up there. Like, I think
Yeah.
of different shit while I'm performing.
Yeah.
I like think of what I'm gonna eat later, you know, and things like that. So
Wild.
are you, when you're doing your like shows and you're doing your songs, are you able to think of different things, or are you 100% into just doing the song?
I think when it's at my best, I'm just like not thinking of anything at all. You're
Right.
just like in like flow state, just doing it.
And that's the muscle memory,
Which
right?
is
You're just-
amazing.
yeah.
But yeah, my mind will be drifting during like those ballads. I'm like, yeah, like what are we gonna postmate after this? Like my mind drifts a little for sure. But I don't know how Ed Sheeran's writing songs while singing another song.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
That's
it's next
insane.
level.
I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
never.
I know. That's why that blew my mind as well. But
That's insane.
I mean, he was one of those guys who never should have made it on a pop star standard just based off of,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say
He looks
it,
like a
but-
Harry Potter extra that just made it.
Totally.
I love it.
Yeah,
Guy's
and then
great.
He's
and
low-key.
then now he's like the most gangster dude, singer,
He's crazy.
songwriter.
I saw
Uh-huh.
Amazon Music like put on this show in LA recently, and it was like a small Ed Sheeran thing, and it was just him and the loop pedal thing that he does. And I have like, it was the craziest, most impressive thing I've ever seen. He's insane.
Well, you see, you do that stuff too. You blow people's minds because you know how to loop and produce your own stuff, and you're putting
Right.
together videos. It is equally as impressive, and that's
Thanks.
just learning a different kind of, honestly, toy.
Totally. Yeah.
I want to see you on that NPR Tiny Desk concert.
Oh my gosh.
That would be perfect.
Let's manifest. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah, let's
That would
talk-
be so
right now.
cool.
Let's
would be
talk.
badass.
Let's talk about. Give me 3 bucket list items that are goals that you want to achieve that we're going to achieve.
Tiny Desk for sure.
Yeah,
I-
which you'll kill.
That would be
This
so.
seems perfect for your style. I don't
Oh
know
my
why.
gosh, it
It's
would
like
be
the
so
seamless
fun.
instrumentation.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. You've already kind of performed Tiny Desk in my living room.
I was gonna
10
say
times
we've
over.
done Tiny Desk a million times.
Yeah.
Please.
So like you have
exactly.
more experience with Tiny Desk than any other Tiny
Period.
Desk performer.
I'm very prepared.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So we got that one.
Well, an insane one, but like, headline MSG would be crazy.
Yes, that's happening for
that
sure.
would be dope. And like a dope slot at Coachella would be really, really cool.
Yeah, that's gonna happen too. That's all. I mean,
Thanks, babe.
yeah.
gonna
Those are
happen.
those are super attainable. You
So-
know, I mean, you
Yeah.
could said Powerball, be like, "Psh, you're out of your fucking mind. These things. Have you performed at MSG yet?
I sang the national anthem for like a game. I think it was like some hockey game. Whatever
Okay.
in New York.
Nice.
And that was the closest thing I've gotten to
That's still
singing at
pretty cool.
MSG.
So you got to walk the halls and all that.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
really cool.
And you're like, I'm gonna be here
I
soon.
was like, I'm gonna play my own show.
Did the label set that up?
I don't remember how it got set up. I was in New York. I feel like Joe, my manager, probably did.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
anyone give a shit or no?
No, they warned me before. They were like, just so you know, it's like, it was Rangers versus something else. And they were like, their fans just like scream while you're singing the national anthem. And it's going to sound like they're booing you. Just like, don't like ignore it.
Yeah.
And they did. It was terrible. It was awful.
Yeah.
But I survived.
Yeah. And
told
the
you.
national anthem, something as any singer just has to memorize anyways.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, how many national anthems have you sung?
Not very many.
No.
Like, I think that maybe 2. Like, not that, because it's hard to sing. I try to avoid that. To be honest.
Yeah. No, it's a shitty song.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's a tough song.
It's a tough song.
It's not easy. People at home are like, "Oh, I could do that."
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
There's a strong argument to change the national anthem to a better song or better written song, and it has been for a while.
Let's work on that.
Yeah. There's no good way for it. I like the Canadian anthem a little better. Speaking of hockey, I host hockey games down here. Right?
Really?
Yeah, at the
Oh, I
arena.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been doing that for like 6-7 years, and so I'm the make some noise guy, and so I actually like hockey a lot.
Hockey is I'm not a sports person, but outside of basketball, it's like my favorite thing to watch.
Yeah.
So fun.
It's a very exciting game, especially once you kind of get into it. You're like, man, these guys are amazing.
Yeah.
But what I would do every single time is I'd get people hyped up, right? And like tell them to make some noise, blah, 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 blah. Then I run the microphones down and hand it over to whoever's doing the anthem, whether it's a person or a group. And then I would go backstage into the lot and not be around in the national anthem. So I'm just like, I'm not listening to this 100 times a fucking
You're like,
year.
I don't need this.
Yeah, like I love the country
Like
and
playing
everything, but
in
this
your
fucking
sleep.
song sucks.
Yeah.
You're like, I already work in
That's
radio and
fun.
hear things on repeat.
You're like, I don't need the national
this.
anthem. I'm added to
like,
that
I'm good on
list.
that.
Yeah, fucking
Heard
done.
Californication already. I'm good.
I know. All right,
That's funny.
there was a bunch of other stuff that I was, going to ask, but I forgot. And whatever.
Love.
We'll wrap things up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
You got the goals. You got the unsolicited advice. We did the review recap on the performance.
mhm.
When you went to the crowd, that was awesome too, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Crowd
That's always
hype.
fun.
It's funny because crowds are never expecting it. It's like,
and then you just hop on in there.
she's right there.
I couldn't
oh.
get back on stage though. I thought I
I
thought the
know
door
you
would
fucking
be-
up where you were. It's like,
Yeah, I tried
top
to go
left.
around the
I'm like,
side and the door was locked.
Oh yeah, that's-
Crawl back on the stage.
See,
It's awesome.
I always notice the little like technical difficulties and
Yeah.
fuck ups and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I noticed that. And I was like, that's funny.
So
I'm
good.
like,
Pretty good.
you fucked up because you can't. There's no the way that the Club Congress is set up too on that stage. They don't make it easy to get
To
back
get
on
back.
stage. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Good
That's pretty
triceps.
Yeah, literally.
But you
Little
did.
workout.
I was
Uh-huh.
actually surprised that you did get back on stage, and I thought, obviously you were hoping that door was unlocked, and that would have been super easy because you had it stairs. But you're like, I guess I'm hiking.
Guess we're
Yeah,
literally
guess-
crawling back up here. Yeah.
Bella, just ask your question.
Yeah, ask
been
the
trying
question
for-
real quick. And then, okay, so did you get to go backstage for that Taylor Swift show? And have you met Taylor?
No. Oh my gosh. That
Okay.
would be cool. I wish. No.
Yeah, and
It's gonna be
Those would
reversed in
not
a
be
few
that.
years. Don't worry.
yeah, and Bella, don't be aggressive about it. Just ask the question. Don't be
I know.
weird. Yeah, Jesus. And then
Just say it.
yeah. And then Patrick said, I'll have to go back and watch the replay. Okay, yeah, you can do that. So sad you missed it. That's okay. And then I'll reclip and do all that other shit. Okay, so who have you met that you fangirled about? And who would you like to meet?
I feel like one person I in theory would love to meet, but I don't think I want to because they say you can't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Like Gwen Stefani. I think that would be insane.
I think she would be
Mhm.
nice.
I feel like she would be the coolest person ever, but I'm just like, she's too iconic for me. I can't.
Yeah, well, Bella, ask it again because it's way back in the comments. And I'm not gonna be searching for that
Why are you
shit.
making this hard on us?
All right,
Say it again.
True or false? You dated Leonardo DiCaprio?
So true. Just kidding.
Yeah,
I wish. How
I was
fun
like,
would
wait.
that be?
No, fuck no.
I think
That's-
I'm too old for him.
Yeah, no, because you're 25 now. So
Yeah.
basically, I was like, thank God you
Yeah,
made it out
I
of LA
made it
without
through. I made
banging
it
through.
DiCaprio.
Yeah.
You don't want that kind of
I'm old now.
Yeah,
Sorry, Leo.
yeah, that combination of herpes is not good.
Oh.
Yeah. So I hear I'll defame DiCaprio after the stream. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
You
so
can't
glad.
insult Taylor Swift and DiCaprio in one stream.
In one
It's bad,
stream
it's
in
dangerous.
5 minutes.
No, I know.
Google
I'm
picks
not
up
trying
on
to
it.
get you canceled and stuff. Did you dive into the LA party scene a little bit? as you got
No,
older?
I did when I first moved there because I wanted to like make friends and I had like none.
And the network, yeah. And it was your college, basically.
Yeah, that was my college experience.
Yeah.
was LA. Now I just like, yeah, I feel like I have a lot of my friends from Phoenix actually live out in LA and they work on the industry side of the music business. So like, I'm with them a bunch. I'm with the people I work with a bunch. And that's
So
kind of
cool.
it. I'm not into the party scene.
No new friends. Keep your circle tight.
No new
Yes.
friends.
Yeah, I like that. All right. Bella says, how do you stay motivated and keep your voice in an industry that sometimes wants you quiet?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a hard question because I don't really know the answer. I think just like realizing that the reason you have a career, like have people that listen to your music is because of you and not because of other people.
Right.
And I think sometimes it's so easy to be like, well, I have this team of like amazing people doing all this for me. But it's like at the end of the day, you have to realize that like you're the sauce and like you have to trust your whatever, your creative vision and just like try hard to stay true to that, while also, you know, involving everyone that's on your team, but also just
And it's good to have a team, but even that's so much more true nowadays for a modern musician. It's that like literally you have to be that driving force because no one's going to do it for you, not even a record label,
right?
Unless you're one of the seriously 0.0000001%
Literally.
that was like literally picked because it's like, okay, you're so undeniably gorgeous. I guess we're gonna make you a superstar.
Shout out Dua Lipa.
You're
Just
right.
kidding.
I was thinking
I
that.
love her.
Yes. Did you get to hang out with Dua Lipa?
I wish. No,
No, you just
she's
wrote
so
her a
hot,
song and won
though.
her a Grammy, and then she did.
yeah,
No.
no big deal.
She's
You're
so
welcome.
baddie. She's like the hottest person alive. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's the only explanation I
Anna
got.
de
to be
Armas
honest
and
with you.
her.
What'd you say?
Anna de Armas.
Yeah, she's an actress,
Yeah.
not a pop star.
Okay.
Pop star in my heart.
You're like, for
Just saying.
me.
For me?
Yes.
Thanks.
Well,
She is gorgeous.
Taylor, love you, and we'll
Love
wrap up this
you.
stream. Thank you guys for watching, and look for it on YouTube.